Alright, Kal Halal, La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash, double honors unto the apostles, Great Millstone, where I learned the truth from, the leaders, alright, of Israel, and salutations and blessings to you brothers and you sisters enduring and fighting, alright? Um, Basically, I just wanted to get into power and strength, you know? We went over this yesterday on the highways, so it inspired me to do it this morning. Basically, the Lord, He's our strength, you know. He's our power. He's the life force, you know. Like you have that, you had that Energizer Bunny commercial. Well, our Energizer is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Excuse the wind, you know. I kind of misjudged the weather. It looked nice out, but it's really windy. But yeah, the Lord is our power, man. You know, He's our strength. And even those terms are not really fully understood. Real quick, from I guess you could say a fitness perspective, the terms strength and power, they're usually misunderstood, you know, because people think about it, you know, and I thought about it, and you think about it. If you mention power and strength, people usually think it's the same thing, hand in hand. You know, it's not really important to know the difference. But in layman's terms, strength is the ability. Again, I'm talking about in fitness terms, right? Strength is the ability to lift heavy things, right? And power is how fast you lift those heavy things. All right. So put it in a perspective or example. You know, you have a 400 or 500-pound object. You know, a strong. You know, you have those strongman competitions, which that's not the strength we're looking for anyway. That's foolish. That's carnality, man. That's foolishness. You got those big bubbas fucking bulking up with garbage just to put on size and weight. This thing ain't about size and weight. All right. They're lifting 5, 6, 7, 800 pounds. But again, let's say you have a 400-pound object. A person that's strong can lift that object. But did they train for the power, which is the explosiveness, right? You can lift it, but how fast do you lift it, right? So that's kind of to put it into perspective. Now, again, not to go off too much topic, but this ties in with the main point or the main topic, you know. Strength is not in size, you know. It's definitely not the size of your muscles either. Okay, because true strength is developed from your nervous system, it goes all the way up to your central nervous system, which goes all the way up to your brain, which people nowadays mostly know is electrical. Your brain, your body runs off electricity, which really is just a fancy way. It's a spirit of saying it's a spirit, energy, force. You know, that, you know, and when you die, you have no ampage, man. You know, now when you train your body, right? Because again, people, you know, lift weights to gain mass, to gain size, to gain that outward appearance of being strong, right? Which at the same time they do gain strength, but their training is a little different. They're training for, again, mass, size, which is in the fitness world is called hypertrophy. For hypertrophy, right? Breaking down of muscle tissue, and then it builds up even bigger, right? But you may have, like those, you see those guys online outside, outside gyms, the calisthenic guys, right? They're doing pull-ups, chin-ups, dips, L-sits, all these things with their bodies. And they're skinny as hell. They don't have no muscle, but you're wondering, how's this guy doing all these things? Granted, he doesn't weigh as much as the bigger dude, but again, the bigger dude can't lift himself up. He can't do those things. So those are different muscles and different ampages, I'll say, that is using. But where does the power come from? Clearly it's not from the muscle or the strength. It's not from the muscle. You already developed your nervous system from your brain. Basically, it depends on how much electricity your brain can give to your muscles, right? Which go down to your nervous system. That's why, you get that pump after a workout and your veins start to come out. And it really, what it looks like a lightning storm. When you're in your forearms and your arms, your biceps. Because the biceps are, or the veins are popping out. Because it actually looks like a lightning storm. Electricity, power, strength, ampage, right? So again, my point is, it's not in the size and strength. Pursuing to, was that 1 Corinthians, about the Lord had not chosen many mighty, right? Not many strong. He had chosen the despised and the weak to confound the strong. We were reading yesterday about the various men of the Lord, the prophets, our ancestors, how they were small. We were the smallest of the nations, actually. Matter of fact, I'll start with that. We were the smallest, and we brought out the point. Damn, I'm not sure how it's worded. Salakia. If I can't find it, it's alright. But the scripture is basically saying that the Lord didn't choose us because we were the greatest and largest. The Lord chose us because we were the smallest of the nations, right? But we brought out the point about Gideon and his men, 300 men, how they defeated scores of thousands of men, right? They were taking down hundreds of thousands of men and not dying. So how did that occur? Right? That was the Spirit of the Lord, man. The Lord gave that ampage, so to speak. So again, when you think about it, it's really just how much electricity your brain can produce for your muscles or your nervous system to give you that shock, and that ampage, boom. That's why they have those examples, right, or stories of a mother, right, that sees her trapped son under a car, right? She goes into shock and she lifts the car off the child. How did that happen? She didn't do no fucking push-ups or chin-ups or all that shit. It's just a spirit came on her, man. The ampage went up. So a man that's small as hell, it tells that in Zechariah. It tells that in Zechariah, how that a small one among you shall be as David in that day, which David was known as a warrior, a great warrior. Right? So brothers, also don't get carnal, man. I want to look like him. I want big muscles. I want this and that. And this is a spiritual thing, man. And as much as we say that, majority of people won't get it. Even brothers, they have to go through their own thing. And then they say, oh, I get it now. But we still got to say it. This is spiritual. So when you get it, it hits home. Because I used to think like that too. I want muscles. I want this. This is spiritual, man. This is a spiritual journey you're on. Okay, so Salaki, I couldn't find. I'll go to my first scripture, Psalms 18:25. Salaki, for the rant, I just want to get a point across that it's not the size. All right, the Lord, he'll literally put a spirit, a mighty spirit upon you, which no man can stop. This body is just a vessel. You know, a guy that's huge doesn't mean he's at the pinnacle of strength. You know, a heavyweight guy, a guy that's 260 pounds, and doesn't mean he's a top person on earth. He's strong as hell. He's powerful. You know, he could take you all with one blow. You know, but just because that vessel is huge, the Most High can raise a smaller vessel and take him out. Just put a spirit in him. See, because it all starts with the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Right? Psalms 18:25. With the merciful thou wilt show thyself merciful. With an upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the forward thou wilt show thyself forward. For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but bring down the high looks. That's what we're hoping, man. You know, it's like we're on the highways and byways, on the streets prophesying. We see your high looks, your people's high looks, your pride, your haughtiness, right? We see all that, man. And Lord is coming back to bring down the lofty, man, pursuant to Isaiah, was that 2:12? Lord, he's coming back to bring down the haughtiness of you people, the pride. Are we not in fucking Pride Month? You know, a brother said yesterday before camp, he was with someone and you know, he's in a car by the lake, and he hears cheering, and he looks in the mirror, and there's a bunch of fucking faggots on bikes, naked, riding through the streets of Toronto, man. You know, which that's what they do. They have their annual naked bike ride, man, which is a bunch of fucking madness, and police and squad cars riding behind them on bikes. Bunch of fucking madness, man. Old fucking men naked, riding bikes in the downtown core where children can see. But these devils have the audacity to come up to us and talk about, oh, there's kids around. And you got a bunch of fucking faggots riding naked downtown. And then they say, oh, watch your language because there's kids around. But what about the kids that see a fucking 60-year-old man balls? What about that? People are fucking crazy, man. And what they're doing is they're just normalizing it for these kids. You know, where it's no big deal. Right? It says, for thou wilt light my candle, the Lord Yahweh, my power, will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power have I leaped over a wall. Okay, and it's not talking about a fucking 5-6 foot fence. Okay? Them walls in the ancient world were fucking high as hell, man. We're talking about the high gated walls, man. The stronghold walls. David was fighting who? The Philistines, among other people, but mainly the Philistines, man, because they kept encroaching and encompassing. So at different points in battles, man, that means David, they were fighting, and them Hamites had a stronghold, and this man, spirit came upon him, he was fighting, and then he just leaped over it, man. He jumped, so he did a Jedi jump, man. You know what in Star Wars, when or in the Matrix too, when he jumped over the building, he said, free your mind. And what does that really go back to? Faith. Right? If you truly, like Yahushua said, if you truly believe, you can move these mountains, man. If you have a little grain of faith, size of a mustard seed, which a mustard seed is small as hell. If you ever seen real mustard seeds. Right? I think I'm walking up to the window. Hopefully brothers can hear me, but that's what the Lord said, man. So you got to truly make your Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? Your power. believe, truly believe and faith. And faith, you can't just get faith. The Lord gives you the gift of faith, and you have to build upon that faith. And He gives you different trials and tests to build your faith. And you got to pray for faith. You might have to fast for faith. You know? But like in like in Star Wars, man, the Jedi, they had that high leaping ability. It would leap over things, you know, distances. So David did that, man. How high? I don't know how high the wall is. Maybe 40, 50, maybe more. Maybe 100 feet. Hey, it says, in Philippians, all things are possible through Yahushua or Mashiach, anointed. Right? As for the Most High, His way is perfect. The word of the Lord Yahweh is tried. See that? Hey, these people try the words of the Lord, man. They try to retranslate shit. Try to say, oh, it's white man wrote it. It's not real. Prove it. Who wrote it? But guess what? You read the dietary law, and it's in tune with what the top nutritionists on the earth are saying. Right? The reason you don't eat pork, it carries a special worm which can't be killed through when you cook it. And it goes into your intestinal tract and lives there, feeds off you, kills you, among other things. High blood pressure and whatnot. Parasites. You know? The different foods you can and cannot eat. You know? Read Leviticus, the 11th chapter, to find out the biblical diet. Right? But among other laws, man, all the laws are beautiful, man. Shows you how to conduct yourself, how to move throughout the city, right? How to actually move throughout the city, man. You know, it tells you don't walk in the solitary places thereof, right? Which is in the Apocrypha. So again, the point is, David said, the word of the Lord Yahweh is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in Him, which is a defense. That's what a buckler is. For who is the Most High save the Lord Yahweh, or who is a rock save our power? It is the Most High that girdeth me with strength and maketh my way perfect. You see that? So David, which the word David means beloved, he just said the Most High girdeth him with strength, man. Right? So he was a top warrior. And really what proves that too is when he was coming up. He was I believe he was the 8th brother. They had 7 brothers. I believe he was the 8th. When Samuel was given the task from the Lord to go anoint the king of Israel. And he went to David's father and showed him the first son, you know, the firstborn, right? Which it does go by the firstborn, right? When you read Genesis 49, Jacob's firstborn was who? Reuben. Right? He said, Reuben, thou my firstborn, strength and honor, right? And so on and so forth. Which Reuben today are the so-called Seminole Indians. They're tough as nails, man. They're tough as nails. You had 3 Seminole Wars in Florida. And Esau said that this was the most costly war and the most formidable foes we've ever faced. You know, they're getting jacked up, man. But the point being is, it goes to the firstborn. It does, but it wasn't set up that way in that specific time period, man. It's what like Apostle Har said years ago. It's a case by case, right? It's a case by case, man. Did not the Lord pardon David for adultery, right? But in other instances, that man would have been put to death, right? So it's a case by case. But again, the Lord strengthens you. You know, you always have to remember that. as high as some brothers are high in society. You know, not high, but you know, they're established. They're good. You know, in Esau's kingdom, you got good credit. You know, you have a good job. You know, you have your home, your substance, your car. Even though all that's vain, and brothers that have that, you better know that's vain. You better not put your trust in that shit, because the Lord will just take that shit away from you. And then who are you gonna trust in? Those are all just carnal things, carnal tools, if you will, right? Rather read again, verse 32. It is the Most High that girdeth me with strength, right, and maketh my way perfect. See, He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, which is like a deer, or the deers or the elks. You see them in the forest, they're running and they're hopping. They got a large hop, man. They hop over things and they leap. You know, some of them can go, I believe, I was reading before, up to 15, 20 feet. You know, and we're talking about the ancient world. Everything was on a bigger scale. Everything was of a bigger magnitude in the ancient world. Okay, it's not like in this society where everything is fucking downgraded. This bullshit society. You know? And setteth me upon my high places. Right? He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine hands. You see that? Oh, by my arms, selected arms. Right? But yeah, man, the Lord teacheth you. You know? Hey, that's the spirit, man. There's a fucking group the dog was barking at. You know, he's barking at this motorbike, and then the dog walked past me and he barked. That's the spirit of the Lord. But anyway, you know, David didn't have a sifu or a sensei. The Lord was a sensei, master. Okay, you ain't supposed to call no man sensei anyway, or master. Right? The Lord is your master. But he taught him. And all these martial arts that Jake learned from, it all stems from David, you know, and the men before him that knew how to war as well. Abraham, he knew how to war. He had different tactics, right? That's another point. Like in the brother Gabar brought out, these devils always portray Abraham as some old, rusty, decrepit man with a cane and a staff. But did he not go out to battle and war? And he brought back a large sum, and he met Melchizedek, Malach Tezedakia, right? Which was Yahushai, and he gave him a tenth of his earnings, his spoils, right? So how the hell is he going to be old and rusty? He was sharp, man. He was on point, just like Moses. Moses was sharp all his life, man. When he was on his deathbed, he said his strength was not a base, meaning he didn't have arthritis, osteoarthritis, gout, diabetes. Okay, he didn't have arthritic pain and all this shit. By the time you're 50 in this society, your mindset already tells you give up. You're not strong anymore. When other places in the world, you go there and there's 60, 70-year-olds that are still doing labor. There was a woman that's seen in India, I believe she's 100 or 101. The man asked her, she forgot. She's like, I think I'm 100 or 101. And she looks maybe like she's 80 in this society with wrinkles. And she's on the street selling fruits and different vegetables. Still working, man. It's in this society you're old and decrepit because first of all, your diet, man. Your people's diet is all messed up. I'm not gonna get out of the way. That's, I should title a different title than open forum, but I'm gonna stick to the point, Lord's will. But again, the Lord was his trainer, Okay? However he did it, he put him in a trance or gave him a vision, or the spirit just came upon him and he knew all these things. Just like in the Matrix, man. Remember, it's a life thing, man. All these skills and all these techniques that we learn in life, all these different abilities that we have, and we have to go through it the hard way, which is rewarding. But the Lord is just gonna give it to us, man. Like again in the Matrix, man. It was a tank. He sat down Neo. He's like, okay, what do we like? He's like, how about jiu-jitsu? He pulled out the floppy, and then Neo was like, jiu-jitsu? I'm gonna learn jiu-jitsu. Right? And he just plugged it in, popped it in, uploaded it to his brain. He's like, oh, got all the techniques and everything right away, mastered the whole system. And he's like, and then Tank's like, oh, he likes. And he went on to other karate and boxing, all these things. That's how the Spirit of the Lord comes upon you, brothers that see brothers fighting and doing all these things. Don't trip out about that, man. Don't say, oh man, he's been training for X amount of years. I wish I did that, or I gotta get it. Listen, man, the Lord, brothers do that for their own benefit. Brothers better not be doing that for carnal things like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck him up and all this bullshit. You better do that just because, what do you call it? It's just for fun or fitness, or it's just a thing you do in your leisure. Right? Like in the Apocrypha it says your pastime. Right? To actually no, I'm not gonna bring it up. But yeah, if you look up pastime in concordance, you'll find it. Which pastime just means something that you really enjoy. Okay? Again, brothers, man, don't be afraid, man. A mob in that day might come against you. But what did the Lord say, man? He'll put a spirit upon you, man. He'll put a mightily spirit upon you like he did Samson. When a lion rolled upon him, fucking lion rolled upon him, and it says the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent the lion, meaning he ripped him as he would a kid, which is a goat. So what kind of spirit is that? Hey, can you train for that? That's my question. Can you train for that? Is there a hey, even those Shaolin Tiger clan techniques can't help you out with that, my man. You're doing tiger claw and all that shit. Yeah, that ain't gonna help you out. That says you rent him. He ran a lion as he would a kid. So again, can you train for that? Hell no. That's a simple answer. Hell no. You cannot train for that. So again, when the mob comes in that day, where we're persecuted, everyone's gonna hate us. Everyone's gonna blame. Oh, look at you guys. You guys are cursing this place. All these calamities and woes is because of you guys. They're gonna say that, man. They're gonna hate you. All the woes and all the hell these people are catching. They're gonna blame it on us, man. You guys are the pestilence. But guess what? When they come upon you, the Lord is gonna raise that spirit up and fuck these people up, man. And they don't know which way to run when that shit's gonna happen. They don't know what the fuck hit them. What day of the week it is. They're just gonna be mind fucked. They're gonna be in derision. Doesn't it say that one of you shall chase 1,000? So what kind of spirit is that, man? We're you see a multitude of 1,000 people, and you say, what the hell is they running from? You see one man running after them. Looks like he's on skates, or he has a jetpack on and he's just racing after them, man. Slaying shit. That's a serious spirit, man. That takes faith to believe it, and it takes faith for the Lord to grant it to you. So pray the Lord increases your faith, man. It's all about faith. These people, they don't understand what the hell this thing is about. They trust in their carnal ass, weak ass inventions, man. So I'm gonna get one more scripture. This is Psalms 110, one of my favorite scriptures. Slack it for the wind, trying to get out of here. Alright. So again, Psalms 110, verse 3. It says, thy people shall be willing, right, in the day of thy power. So, look at that again. See, so these Jakes, man, they're as proud and cocky and haughty as they are, man. It says, the Lord said they're going to be willing in the day of thy power, man. When the Lord grants you that power, you know, these fucking niggas are going to be willing, you know. And no more we call it shit talk and arrogancy and scoffing, man. Whoever the Lord gives that power to, they're gonna say, okay, that's who the Lord is dealing with. But right now, there's no physical acts being done or signs, so they're just scoffing. They're saying, oh no, IUIC got it, because they look good. They have the good apparel. They look like they're in order. The Lord's gonna break that shit up. I bet you there's scores of women fucking all kinds of men up in that shit. All kinds of adultery and madness going on in there. No doubt about it. Alright? Ain't fooling nobody, man. ISUPK, GOCC. Listen, man, when the Lord grants the power to the specific men, you know, to the specific men, you know, then you're going to be one. But guess what? It's going to be too late. And that's what's beautiful. It's going to be like a nice classical, you know, piece. A Mozart piece. You're going to see destruction. It's going to be harmonious and beautiful, but devastating and deadly at the same time, man. It's going to be chaotic. Alright? So, let me see. That people shall be willing in the day of thy power, and the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. That was the dew of thy youth. Okay? So with that, I didn't want to rant too long. The Spirit just came upon me to bring this forth. I was inspired to do it from yesterday on the highways. So I hope you brothers are edified. Your brothers and your few sisters were edified. Alright, may Yahweh Bashem Yahushua bless you and keep you and increase your faith above all. Alright, so I want to say Ka Halal, La Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Rachak Wadash, Sam Yad. Alright, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, the great men upon earth where I learned the truth from. Okay? And salutations unto you brothers and your few sisters that take heed. Shalom.